Hey, I'm Stephen Wooten, and this is my new student dialogue vlog. My new student dialogue was back in September. It was on higher education, whether it was a right or a privilege. And to start out with, I'm going to define dialogue. And dialogue within it is a group discussion between two or more people or in a group, especially one directed towards exploration of a particular subject or the resolution of a problem. So dialogue is important whenever you're trying to discuss a matter that debate normally couldn't handle. Like a debate would if you were debating something, it has a lot of argument in it, and one side tries to prove their point is more valid or better than the other. Whereas in a dialogue, everyone works together in order to come up with a resolution that everyone can agree on. So our dialogue was on higher education, whether it's a right or a privilege. So we discussed how different social classes, socioeconomic classes, how how that affects whether a person can get into the college or university they want to attend. We the Probably the highlight of the dialogue was we had an exercise where certain groups were issued a certain amount of money, and we had to determine whether we were able to afford a certain level of higher education. And we were split into three groups: a lower class, a middle class, and an upper class. And I was placed in the lower class group, which is not necessarily true to me personally in reality, but it gave me a really good taste of how people in the lower class are, whether or not they're able to afford higher education or not. And I think that yes, lower class individuals can afford it. However, they probably can't afford the level of higher education that is what the norm considers to be sufficient, which is, say, going to Clemson University or any other mid to high level university. Some of the questions that are asked about dialogue is: first, did our group achieve true dialogue? And I believe we did. There are many voices in our dialogue, and there was not there was no arguments or disagreements among it. There were disagreements, but however they were easily resolved, and everyone was able to deal with each other's opinions and communicate well. There were, as I said, there were many active voices that made strong points that actually changed my opinions on the on higher education, whether it's I believe whether everyone should have it or whether or not they should or should not have it. Um, One of the things I didn't find very accurate about the exercise I mentioned earlier was the fact that there were no scholarships attributed to the any class, which that actually can make a difference for many different social classes, especially in the lower class. You know, if you have an exceptionally talented student in the lower class, they can get scholarships and federal aid in order for them to attend a higher level of learning. Um, my role, I didn't have a very big role in the dialogue. I mainly went just to learn about what other people's opinions were. So I had to say I was probably one of the more reserved voices, but I felt like I listened well to everyone, and I thought that between the videos and the activities that we did in the dialogue session, that yes, we did achieve dialogue, and also I feel that everyone in the group probably felt more informed about whether education is a right or a privilege for everyone. And I think this is a useful part of CU 1000 because it exposes us to the different socioeconomic classes that we're not normally accustomed to. And again, I feel like the activity that we did was really helpful because it showed that, you know, if you don't make a lot of money, whether you can help it or not, that higher education is difficult for them. It's just a fact of life. Even as a middle class individual, my family being middle class, I'm still struggling to afford full tuition. Which I have scholarships as well, but because I am from South Carolina and I've got several state scholarships, but it's still a struggle to pay for higher education. And I think this is useful, as I said earlier, for college, new college students, because dialogue is necessary to solve problems and be able to communicate with other people. So I feel like it was a good dialogue session. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed my first semester here at Clemson. It's been great. It's a lot more fun than I expected, and I hope to achieve many great things coming up in my future here at Clemson. And this is the end of my vlog. Thank you.